stages during the course of the game, because the Sharks have a hell of a lot of power in their group there, and a lot of experience as well. So yeah, no, listen, really pleased to get a win here, because I suppose the most pleasing is because I've obviously seen how the lads have sort of worked during this, not just on the tour for the 2 weeks, but even the period prior to that as well, those 2 months. So yeah, listen, lots of guys have put their hand up, which is pleasing.
Were you surprised by the shots at the end where they got a penalty and then they go for a line out and then it didn't work? When I make it like
Yeah,
10, yeah.
I don't know. Like, I suppose they're going to weigh up like it's 2 points, or should they have 1 point at that point and they're going for 4. So I can understand the decision making there. But listen, that's we're pleased, glad to get a win. As I said, we probably rather look a bit during the course of the game, and it was scrappy. But there was lots of sort of the intangible stuff, isn't it? Like, there's lots of guys working and scrambling and staying in the fight over the course of the game. So and it's pleasing again, a couple of those young guys that we have in there, playing for Leinster. Obviously, Alan Spicer there coming off the bench, making his debut for Leinster. He's still under 20s. Other guys, just adding to their experience, so say Fitton Gunn, there's a 9 who was on the field at the end of the game last week and plays a good 75 minutes there today. So it's first start for Leinster. And listen, there's other academy players sprinkled throughout the team. So yeah, listen, lots of good stuff there. And for the staff as well, listen, we've staff here that are sort of learning on the job as well, which is pleasing. So yeah, listen, overall it's been a good trip for us.
Leo, to take 5 points, I think it is, from 2 games against full strength Bulls, full strength Sharks. Must be pretty proud what you guys have achieved.
Yeah, listen, and that's the thing. Like, they worked hard leading into the tour, and to get 5 points, we were very close last week to getting 4. It's an absolute sickener at the end, but as it would have been a right sickener if you'd come up short again. So and they talked about this this week. The opportunities there. Even we were here 3 seasons ago, and we were camped on the Sharks line up that top end, and we turned the ball over at the end, and it was game over. So so anyway, whatever way the game unfolded, and it's always tricky sometimes. We had a couple of players obviously that went back, and you're a bit restricted in terms of training numbers, and it was a bit scrappy at times. But listen, the mental attitude was pleasing, and yeah, listen, it's great reward to get a win here.
An interesting week weather-wise, where rain was coming down the whole week, and then suddenly the steamy conditions, the humidity. Was that difficult to prepare for?
Yeah, it was definitely different to what we're used to anyway. Humidity is not a problem that we tend to have a problem with in Ireland. So yeah, we trained Tuesday morning. It was bloody hot that day, and guys were they were blown. Yeah, then obviously on Friday, then we came to the ground here, and there was surface water on the ground here yesterday, and that was around midday, about 1 o'clock. But then obviously in the afternoon, sort of the heavens opened up as well. So listen, the pitch was pretty good, to be fair, wasn't it? All things considered from yesterday, but the conditions are very unusual for us. But it's like we're well used to the wet ball anyway, and it was like a bar soap out there. But yeah, listen, it was far from perfect for both teams, really, isn't it? Like, it was a scrappy type of game, but and the conditions are difficult. But listen, I'm pleased how the lads managed to find a way somehow.
Is there any questions?
Just check on right now.
Oh, there's a hand up there somewhere.
Sorry guys, happy to take any questions online. Kian Yiso, I think your hand is raised there.
Yes, it is. Thank you very much. Good evening, gentlemen, and congratulations on the win. Leo, when you look at the context of last week, the context of this week, having lost closely, having won this one, and the fact that you've got a Champions Cup game next week, how critical were these 2 performances with the young squad going forward for the back end of the URC?
Yeah, so I'm delighted how these guys have gone. Yeah, like, we have a big chunk of academy players, and a couple of guys are on the tour that, it's not like we're wanting to give guys caps cheaply either, that they have to earn them and deserve them. So, listen, we're really pleased with some of the experience that they would have gotten from the trip. Like, the results are, it's almost, yeah, it's a great bonus, and yeah, for a competition going forward, it's definitely will make us think about some of the selections, which is what you want this time of the season. You want to group of players that are all pushing each other on. So the young guys here have played a great part now in terms of delivering for the wider group. So you know, we've obviously a few guys that were away, good chunk of guys that were away with Ireland, as we touched on earlier on during the Six Nations, and they've had a mix of time off and training now as well. And we'll have a good look in terms of what Harlequins they were playing away in Bath today. So I'll try and have a look at that on the way back, and we'll make some plans for next week, because you know, we're playing a game in Croke Park, which is the last 16 in Champions Cup. And Croke Park is a really iconic stadium in Ireland, obviously in Dublin and Leinster. So hopefully we'll have a big crowd of Leinster supporters. Big shout out to the Leinster supporters that were here today, making a hell of a lot of noise, which was great. And it was an amazing atmosphere from all the Shark supporters as well. So we were delighted to be part of such a great occasion here today.
Okay, any other questions from the floor, please, or from online? Sorry. Okay, I think that's us. Ashley, thanks a million for hosting us.